Good morning, Pride League. Now, let me get something straight here, real quick. Week one is in the books, and we got a lot of chatter on the Discord, and I like that shit. I like that shit. But let's get serious. No champion is made week one. So, pump the brakes a little bit. You guys got a lot to be excited for. I get that. I get that. But let's calm it down. Let's relax a bit, enjoy our wins. But some of you guys think y'all just broke the mold. Like you're the first week one champions ever. Come on, guys. Let's be serious. Let's be serious. But I digress. We came to see what happened last week, what's gonna happen this week. So I just want to welcome all of you back. Big shout out to Bull City. Recovering from back surgery. Appreciate all the wishes in there for him. As much as I know he enjoys it as well. It just gives us a warm fuzzy. Hope you're doing well, Bull City, and don't forget to set your lineup. I mean, you're playing classy strippers this week. It shouldn't be easy, but at least you'll have your lineup set. You want to do that sooner rather than later. As soon as you possibly can. We don't want classy strippers having a cakewalk this week. So do what you got to do, and if not, delegate it to somebody else that you trust, that you love and trust. But anyway, I digress. Let's look back into that atrocious week one, shall we? In the NFL, my Texans did something worse than lose. They actually tied. And I don't know if I wholly agree with Lovie Smith's approach on I didn't want to lose the game situation. Fuck that. I'd rather lose than have to admit that our offense can't get a yard. And then when they don't get that yard, you're like, fuck it, they definitely can't get 2.5 yards. Especially after you don't play Pierce. Pretty much, we played 29% of the snaps. Oh my god. You got a guy that is definitely going to fight for a yard, and you hand it off to Rex Burkhead? All right. Woosai. This is going to be a tangent-riddled week 2 preview, week 1 review, my friends, my lords and lads. So let me try to stick to the script. All right, week 1, we got disabled vigilantes going up against Wubba Lubba Dub Dub, and as you probably see on the screen, Wubba Lubba Dub Dub, he murdered the shit out of me. So that's fair. I mean, he scored over 300 points. I'm okay with that. The guy was very close to being. I mean, it was still a studly performance. He might not get the accolades this week, but I got that one wrong. I thought I made I had a lot of bench points, but even if I'd have put everybody in the right spot at the right time, still would have got blown out of the water. A lot of things for disabled vigilantes to overcome this season, but it starts the first step in the journey is typically the most treacherous, and you got off on some less than sure footing, but that's fine. Disabled vigilantes, I got that wrong. Wubba Lubba Dub Dub win. Classy strippers versus Hollywood Cole Brothers. As you can tell, this is another one I got wrong. The Hollywood Cole Brothers team definitely pulled through. We got a lot of defensive issues here, but to me, defense is important, right? You want to get defenders that are going to be consistent, and I get that. But my trope is that if you go to the waiver wire, you could see just dozens of individuals that score 20 plus points. It's really a crapshoot. And as with your offensive guys, the consistency week to week is probably going to be a little more strong than having, I don't know, Minka Fitzpatrick score you 25 points a week. So, or 38, right? Just my guess is he's not going to do that for you week in, week out. I could be wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong, and it might change my whole outlook on defenders, but there were dozens of DBs in the free agency that scored 20 plus points. Any one of those guys could have been plugged and play. Obviously, the owner has to do the due diligence, but I guarantee you, defense is more of a freaking crapshoot than anything. But everybody has good games, everybody has bad games, and I guess my method is the offensive players that are more consistent. I don't know, like Cooper Kupp. I have more confidence that that guy's going to catch double-digit passes every week than, I don't know, Minka Fitzpatrick grabbing 10 solo tackles and a pick and a touchdown every week. I think the guy that's catching the ball, Cooper Kupp, will probably score more touchdowns than Minka Fitzpatrick. You get me? I think you got me. All right. Moving on, there's probably some other things. We go to an in-depth analysis about tackles for loss and sacks, DBs and linebackers compared to running backs and all that other stuff. It will be interesting to see how this pans out. But that was week one. Week one always errs on the side of defense. But as we get deeper into the season, October, November, December, you're going to see offensive giants. I'm talking about the top 16 teams elevating their offensive play, and defense is scrambling to catch up. And then as playoffs ramp up, you're going to see defenses committing more penalties, trying to stop offenses. And it's whether or not the referees will let them get away with that shit. Happens every year. So we're moving on. Classy Strippers kind of failed me that week, so I'm 0 for 2 right now. Then we got Dynasty Sage going up against the Boss. So I had the Boss winning this one. Obviously, his defense is what it is, but his offense definitely came through and helped him out too. But when you score 84 points on defense, your offense can only... I mean, if the Boss is scoring over 100 points on offense, that's going to be a tough thing because his defense, I mean, you look at the names, they're consistent. So one of these guys are going to make up for the other, and it's, double digits. Everybody but Fred Warner. How can this be... Is it going to be replicated week after week? I mean, the Boss has proven that some names are better than others on defense. I get that, but man, it's a nice thing to have a set plug and play on the defense. But there'll be moments when these guys aren't going to be performed. They're going to be game planned against, and it's going to be more, as the season progresses, it's going to be less of them dominating, lack of offensive production, and it's more of them trying to play catch up against other teams. A lot of these are matchup induced, but good on him. He was able to get Dynasty Sage, and I predicted that. So moving on, we got Dunder Mifflin going up against Unfuckwittable. Unfuckwittable was winning this matchup, I think, until the wee hours of this morning, and then Dunder Mifflin with a sneak stat correction. I don't have the particular stat corrections, whether it be for or against Unfuckwittable, but the numbers don't lie. Dunder Mifflin got the W against my pick. So right now I am 1 out of 4. Dunder Mifflin, good on you, kid, getting in the dub column. We've got Stacking Yards going up against Bull City. Stacking Yards doing the dang dizzle. I picked this one right. Bull City wasn't far behind. Just a few miscues in regards to, Trevor Lawrence, and, all it take was, some decent play from New England in terms of Devontae Parker, and this could have went a whole different direction. But it is what it is. Stacking Yards giving me the W. Of course, that's the last one that I won, as I also picked the West Coast Giants, who got demolished by Agent Smith. And this is what I'm talking about. This offensive production of 180 points coupled with just good defensive play. 157 points on defense. You really can't argue it. I think we're going to look at some things week in, week out. But 337 is the new benchmark for the season. If anybody tops it, it will be wondrous. But this is a very good combination of adequate defense matched with great offensive production. And this is going to happen week in, week out for Agent Smith. Moving him higher on my power rankings, as we'll soon find out. And for our game of the week, we've got Redacted ADP 1897 going up against our current champion, Griffey Cakes. And how did this turn out? Well, I couldn't have predicted it, but Redacted busted that Griffey Cake ass. Then he asked for seconds, and Griffey Cake, we all out. And that motherfucker kicked him to the curb. This is what happens I guess when you have a Super Bowl hangover, but now it's like the Pride Dynasty Championship hangover. We had both of our people in the championship game fall week one. Um, Woo! This is going to be an interesting season. This is a rocky start for a lot of people, but we're going to try to make the best of a bad situation. So that's week one in review. Now we got to talk about, you know what time it is. Who's our fantasy stud? And who's our fantasy dud? And I mean, you don't have to really, look much further than our power rankings, right? The power rankings will tell you most of everything that you need. And compared to week one's power rankings to week two's power rankings, as you can see, there is a lot of movement. I am scrambling to find some security, some foothold, and when I can accurately predict this stuff. This is actually harder than it looks, gentlemen. As the week two power rankers, our fantasy stud is none other than Agent Smith. Doing the dang dizzle, getting it in, stopping Neo at all costs, and making sure that the world is what it's supposed to be. Chaotic and viral in this motherfucker, right? So, and then we got our fantasy dud. Oh, man. Talk about from first to worst in an instant. We got Griffey Cakes at the not only the bottom of the power rankings, but he also holds the title of fantasy dud. Oh, Jesus. I mean, I barely scraped over 200, but you have to hit the 200 mark. I mean, West Coast Giants and Griffey Cakes, you gotta hit the 200 mark if you want to be, relevant in this league. Let's not get it twisted. Last year, the 7th place came into like points 4. Points 4 is very important. If you don't get it, it'll probably be the difference between you and the sidelines when it comes to the playoffs. Nobody wants to be on the sidelines. So let's take a deeper look at the power rankings while we're here. We've got Wubba Lubba Dub Dub coming in at number 2, climbing the charts about 6 spots. West Coast Giants, he falls from week one Giant power ranking to, barely above, Griffey Cakes, who's obviously at the bottom of these power rankings. Hey, I'm just trying to find balance. But right now, this is kind of, this week, the preview, I'm still lost. I don't think I'll really find footing until October. And that goes to say, right? We have so little cap space amongst all the teams that it's we've got free agents being soaked up, and is it too early, or can it be early enough to find gems that are actually getting playing time? Then we got injuries on top of that, so you're gonna have to be finding replacements. You're gonna have to find depth in some ways, especially when the bye weeks start coming around. That's when it's gonna really start. When we're gonna start seeing the molds of where these power rankings shake out, is because ultimately you got to get through week 14. I think that's when the bye weeks end, and then obviously that's the end of the season, right? And you're going into the regular season, no more bye weeks. You're going into the playoffs, no more bye weeks, and that's when hopefully you've done enough to get into the playoffs. These teams right now, this week one, championship giver, if you can get to the playoffs, this kind of proves that you got a really nice, solid team. That if there's no just kind of like movement, and everything remained static, everything remained in this little bubble, this sphere, you probably, Agent Smith and Wubba Lubba Dub Dub would be fighting for the championship, right? So, it is what it is. Week one, we got our crowns, we got our poppers and our princes, but how does week two shape up, you might ask, right? How do I feel week two will go? So let's go ahead and see if we can move it on over. And Disable Vigilantes faces none other than the boss, right? And, I give boss credit. I'm just hoping that his defenders, the opposition coaches are just game planning for these monsters on this side of the field, which they should be. If they game plan for these monsters, it'll mitigate his defense. That's my goal, right? Is to just, hopefully they not just dominate, getting 25 plus points apiece. I pick myself because I am a glutton for punishment. I will beat you this week, boss. I have to. Or it's going to start getting real bleak for me, and I'm going to be like, who deserves Josh Allen? Who deserves Kyler Murray? I'm just going to start shipping and shopping, and it'll probably be some fire sale type shit. You know what I mean? If not some auction type shit, I'd be like, highest bidder, who wants the rights to Josh Allen? Who wants the rights to freaking Kyler Murray? Calamari. But that'll all disappear as long as I need to be above 500, going into October. The first 4 weeks, I want to at least be 2-2. Right now, behind the 8 ball, I got to start making some moves. Agent Smith versus stacking yards. And honestly, this is my game of the week. This is what I'm going to be looking for. We got the number 1 going up against the number 4 in my power rankings. I still have Agent Smith winning this one. Again, that beautiful maturation of offense and defense. I think Agent Smith has a very, very good balance this year. Probably will take him deep into the playoffs, as it should. But, time will tell, and much can happen during the course of a fantasy season. So I've got Agent Smith winning that game. When you got Bull City going up against Classy Strippers, it kind of frightens me that Bull City is in the hospital, but it looks like he's at least set his lineup, and wherever the chips may fall. I still got Classy Strippers winning this, but Doug, get well soon, buddy, and just take it slow. Take it easy. It's like, I don't know. I know there's a lot of pain, but I would say pass the pina colada, but you don't want to mix medications and liquor. I guess that's how people don't wake up. Shout out to my boy DJ Screw, Pimp C, so many Houston legends. Anyway, good luck, and Classic Strippers gets that dub. Then we got Dunder Mifflin going up against Griffey Cakes. Now, does Griffey Cakes come out of this hole after winning the championship? Does he bounce back against Dunder Mifflin? Hell no. Dunder Mifflin, the boys at Scranton have got a taste of victory. And Michael Scott, he never does anything half-ass. The boy uses his full ass, you know what I mean? So he's going to come in there, and there's a chance. Dunder Mifflin, not only did he knock off the runner-up last week, he has a chance to knock off the champion? Are we serious? We got a championship run coming in here. Dunder Mifflin said, who are these clowns? Let me show you how it's done, league. Let me show you how to whoop these dudes down, right? What do they say? Punk step up to get beat down, right, Dunder Mifflin? Go get him, bro. Then we got Unfuckwittable going up against Dynasty Sage. Dynasty Sage, good on you, kid. You're climbing the power rankings, too. You're at number 11. Compared to where were you last? I don't know, 14th. I gave you some credit, man. You're doing some things. I like what I see. I just think Unfuckwittable can't take 2 losses in a row. Unfuckwittable gets this victory, unfortunately. But you're still doing great things, Sage. You're not last. I'll give you that. Wubba Lubba Dub Dub going up against those Hollywood Cole brothers, dog. So I think this is going to be a fairly good matchup. I mean, we've got Wubba Lubba Dub Dub coming in at number 2, and Hollywood Cole Brothers, who probably feels he should be ranked higher in my power rankings, but you gotta prove it to me, Hollywood. Show me what you got for a pork chop. You know what I'm talking about? So if you can beat Wubba Lubba Dub Dub this week, my rival nonetheless, you probably will get a top 5 finish coming in the power rankings next week at a minimum. Who knows? Depending on how well you do, how well Minka Fitzpatrick, I expect that guy to get 50 points this week to help you overcome Wubba Lubba Dub Dub and his team of wankers. But we'll see. I've got Wubba Lubba Dub Dub winning this match. You can put a stamp on that. And then we got Redacted ADP 1897 going up against those West Coast Giants. It is a An interesting matchup. I like ADP. I think I've been high on ADP, but I mean, like last week, I was super high on West Coast Giants. I don't know why we don't score over 200 points with this roster, but I have a feeling that will not hold true. You can't hold down these stellar offensive players for much longer. Um, Dang, I really want to pick West Coast, but I'm picking ADP 1897. Maybe I've got too much faith in West Coast's big name squad over here. I guess only time will tell. Those are my predictions, gentlemen. Like it or love it, that's where we're at right now in the league. We've got many weeks to come. This is going to be a very spectacular season, and I think we're already off to a great start. Take a look at where you're standing in the power rankings, where you are. I mean, obviously, this is all subject to change. All you got to do is win, baby. All you got to do is win. And if you can win that money, baby. Pride is everything. And the only way we measure pride, boombastic money makers, baby. That's the only way we can measure this pride level event. So, obviously, our top two money makers have suffered week one losses. Should they cry in the corner? Are they defeated? No, I don't think you can slay the beast that easy. All right, guys. Week 2 is upon us. Enjoy your Thursday night game. And same bad time, same bad channel. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.